What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. There are some crazy patch notes that just dropped. We're going to talk about them. I'm going to put it right in the middle-ish. Hopefully we'll get this right. These are crazy. Excuse me. There are some really big nerfs here and some really big buffs, and we're going to go over all of them together. Let's just dive right in. Yo, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on the video. I got to get some coffee. Bye. Starting with Death Knight. The Blood DK, Deathbringer Exterminate damage up by 30%, Wave of Souls up by 25%, Reaper's Mark up by 30%, and the Sand Lane gets nerfed. Now, if you've been playing with any Blood DKs in Mythic Plus especially, every single one of them is running Sand Lane because the Blood Beast is crazy. It does a crazy amount of damage. It's very strong. So they're nerfing Blood Beast by a lot. This is almost a 40% nerf to the damage that Blood Beast does. So it's like a 37% nerf, I think. It's really, really big. Is this going to push you back towards Deathbringer because Deathbringer is also getting buffed? I don't know. Those are some big buffs to Deathbringer and some big nerfs to Sand Lane. Whether or not the like extra survivability of Sand Lane could trump what you're getting from Deathbringer, I don't know. But that's a big swing. I think we're going to see a big swing for Blood DKs on the hero tree. Frost DK. Deathbringer Exterminate up by 30%. Wave of Souls up by 25%. Reaper's Mark up by 30%. Why? Nobody's playing Frost DK. Nobody. Everybody's playing Unholy DK. Every single person. Frost DK and Unholy DK are ranked very differently. And if we look at the Mythic Plus keys that have been done, every single key has a an Unholy DK in them right now. Every single one of them. If you just keep scrolling, it's all Unholy DK. Nobody's playing Frost. So they're trying to buff Frost DK, maybe bring it back in line with where Unholy DK is. Maybe the Sand Lane nerfs will bring Unholy DK down, and then Frost DK gets brought up, and maybe they're closer. I don't know. It really depends on the kind of key you're running and why you're bringing the Death Knight, right? Because Unholy DK provides that crazy AoE damage that Frost DK doesn't quite have. But these are substantial buffs to Deathbringer for Frost DK. We're going to see if they switch to that hero tree as well. Unholy DK, as I was just saying, sorry, I was pointing to the Blood Beast from Blood DK. Sand Lane for Unholy DK also did get nerfed from 25% to 20%. That is a 20% nerf to the Blood Beast damage, okay? Because you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right? That's 100. That's 120, 40, 60, 80, 100. So that's a 20% nerf to your Blood Beast damage. Just look at it that way, okay? I know it's only 5%, but in terms of the sentence that's right in front of you, but you're losing 20% of your Blood Beast damage. So is that going to swing Unholy and Frost DK from, which I don't think so. But maybe Unholy will have to start playing the other hero tree because really most of your damage is wrapped up in the Blood Beast. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Demon Hunter. This is a massive nerf. Vengeance Demon Hunter, Sigil of Silence base duration is now 2 seconds. It was 4 seconds. This is crazy. Sigil of Silence is a 1.5 minute cooldown. And instead of it lasting for 4 seconds now, baseline, it's going to last for 2. And then you would always take Chains of Anger to increase it by 2. So right now, a Sigil of Silence goes for 6 seconds. It's now going to go down to 4 seconds with Chains of Anger. If you don't take Chains of Anger, it's only 2 seconds, which makes it pretty much useless. Now, you're always taking Chains of Anger anyway. I don't think any Vengeance DH doesn't take this. But my point is, this used to be Vengeance DH's like thing. They used to have 2 Sigils of Silence back in the day, back in Dragonflight. Now they only have 1. And now it's going down to a 2-second base duration instead of 4. This is massive nerf after nerf, basically, bringing down how Sigil of Silence is able to interact with enemies. And it is a very powerful ability. But there are other tanks now that are getting similar abilities that are almost just as good. In fact, the warrior one is just as good. Disrupting Shout. It actually prevents all spellcasting for 6 seconds, which is actually better technically now than the Vengeance DH one. But I don't know. You're never going to run this probably. It requires 2 talent points. Maybe you will. But my point is, this is a huge nerf. Aldraki Reaver, the shield that you get from Incorruptible Spirit is also going down by 33%. From 15 to 10, that's a 33% reduction. Massive nerfs for Vengeance. I don't think Vengeance really deserved to get this many nerfs. It's a really good tank right now. It's one of the best for sure, but I think there's other tanks that were close to Vengeance. And these kind of nerfs are gonna, I think, take Vengeance right out of the picture. Like, seriously, I think this is gonna ruin Vengeance for a lot of tanks now. Guardian Druid, slight nerf to Boundless Moonlight, which is the Elun's Chosen Boundless Moonlight, which gives you that extra flash of energy. And then the minor moon damage down a bit. So not like a slight nerf to Moonbear. Balanced Druid basically got buffed on the single target and nerfed in AoE. So all spell damage up by 3%, but then Starfall is down by 10. And then Star Surge up by 3, Power of Goldrun up by 3. So the compounding single target buffs are good. And then the Elun's Chosen nerf that happened to Guardian Druid also happened to Balance. So AoE nerf for sure, single target buff for sure. I don't know why they're getting any buffs at all compared to some of the other specs that are in the game, seeing as there are balanced druids in every single key ever. If you just keep going, it's just key after key after key. They're all balanced druids all the time. Like, what we're not going to see in these patch notes is buffs to Shadow Priest, for example. And I don't even play Shadow Priest, but I'm getting a little sick and tired of this kind of thing. Like, why is Balanced Druid getting any buffs at all when we're seeing Balanced Druid in Mythic Plus all the time? And yes, their single target damage is not that good. I understand. So maybe they don't show up in the raid very much. But Shadow Priest isn't showing up anywhere. They're not even showing up in the raid anymore because maybe they are a little bit, but it's just, I don't know. Sometimes this stuff confuses me where I'm like, these guys are probably in a good place. I don't think we need to continue to buff them. This is 2 patches in a row that Balanced Druid has gotten changes. So if you're a Balanced Druid player, get in there, baby. You got buffs last week. You're getting buffs this week. You're in a happy place. Evoker, Augmentation. All their spell damage up by 8% and the Eben might up. Their personal damage needs to go up even more according to Blizzard. That's what they're doing here, okay? Mage. I'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Mage, Arcane Mage, all damage up by 4%, and then the Sun Fury damage is up massively. Area of Effect spell damage up by 25% for the Phoenix, and then Meteor up. So Blizzard is really trying to say, hey, we'd like you to try out Sun Fury again as an Arcane Mage rather than just the Splinter Storm tree. They would really like to see you try Sun Fury once again. Is this going to push Arcane Mage towards Sun Fury? I don't think so, just because of the way that the Spellslinger tree interacts with like Arcane Orb, like firing off those free Arcane Orbs in Mythic Plus is like absolutely insane. So I don't know, that effect on its own is just worth it in my opinion, but maybe they'll move. Fire got the exact same treatment in the other direction. Their Frostfire tree is getting buffed, and they're hoping that you're going to move away from Sun Fury towards the Frostfire tree. They're trying to bring those 2 hero trees towards parity again because everybody's playing Sun Fury for fire. This is a big one here. The Comet Storm is 300% effectiveness instead of 250. That's a big buff to the Comet Storm, and it results in an enormous chunk of your damage. Just that Comet Storm itself from the hero tree, sometimes it's like 7% of your total damage, and so it's going to go up even more, which is pretty big. Brewmaster Monk, this is crazy. The baseline armor you get for being a Brewmaster is going up to 55% instead of 45%. Your Mastery Elusive Brawler bonus dodge chance goes up by 5%. That means like every time you get hit by something and you don't dodge, you get this Elusive Brawler stacking up. And now it's going to stack up even quicker, and it's going to get you to your next dodge, your next guaranteed dodge, which is really cool. Tiger Palm damage, 15%. Rising Sun Kick damage up by 15%. Big single target buffs. Celestial Brew absorb amount up by 20%. Are you kidding me? That is your main cooldown that you're using as an absorb. It's going up by 20%. That's nuts. Very good defensive bonus for Brewmaster, both with the armor, the dodge chance, and the Celestial Brew. Big stuff. Brewmaster is looking great. Nobody knows how to play it still except for the Shaw. So nobody's going to play it at all except for him. But oh my god, if you're a Brewmaster main, you're happy. Mistweaver catching some nerfs here. One big nerf. Jade Empowerment increases Crackling Jade Lightning's damage by 2,000%, was 2,500, and Cleaves at 25% effectiveness was 15. What does this mean? You're losing single target healing with the Crackling Jade Lightning, and you're gaining AoE healing with the Crackling Jade Lightning. Or your AoE healing is basically going to stay the exact same. It's either going to go up a tiny bit or stay exactly the same as it was, but your single target healing, when you only have one target, is going to go down. Okay, does that make sense? Shaylin's Gift up by 15%. Rushing Wind Kick increases Renewing Mist healing by 200%, was 150. Blizzard is desperately praying that Mistweavers will stop using the Mythic Plus build in Raid, but it's not going to happen. This is not going to change anything. Every Mistweaver is just using Chi-Ji in the Raid instead of Yu'lon because it's just better. You're just doing a melee Mythic Plus rotation with Chi-Ji, and you're doing outrageous amounts of healing because Blizzard doesn't really know how to balance that part of Mistweaver, I don't think, in the Raid. So they're hoping that you're going to move back towards Rushing Wind Kick. You're not. You're not. You're just going to keep doing your melee thing. Windwalker. Efficient training increases the damage of energy spenders by 40%. Was 20. They just doubled this. That's nuts, bro. Your spenders are just going to do, like, it's just doubling the effectiveness of this talent. That's really crazy. One versus many increases the damage of Fist of Fury by 20%, was 15. So that's going up by 25%, that one talent there. Very good buffs for Windwalker. Windwalker is definitely on the lower end of most people's minds when it comes to Mythic Plus, certainly. And yeah, so these are great. It's great to see Windwalker buffs. Very happy with that. Okay. Holy Paladin, baby. This is my bread and butter. This is me, baby. Shining Righteousness now requires 4 Shield of the Righteousness to activate a free Word of Glory instead of 5. Very big, actually. Very big. It's going to encourage you to do more damage because you're like, okay, I only have to press Shield of the Righteous 4 times and then I get a free Wog or a free Eternal Flame. Very, very good. Righteous Judgment chance is guaranteed now. That means when you throw Judgment, it's guaranteed to put a consecration on the ground. And then you can put your own consecration on the ground. It sounds really insignificant, but it is a massive contribution to your AoE damage as a Holy Pally. So you're going to have 2 consecrations down all the time now. This is the big one. I'm so excited about this. Veneration transfers 280% of the damage done instead of 225. I'm a Veneration believer. I love this talent. That's when you throw Hammer of Wrath, it's going to do damage, and then 280% of that gets turned into healing on your team. It's actually so good. It's usually between 4 and 5% of my overall healing in every single dungeon. I love it. I swear by it. I'm so glad they're buffing it. I can't wait to keep doing this. Just reward healing. This is an interesting one. This is when you cleanse somebody. There's a heal that hits them. It's not really noticeable, I don't think, at all, and I'm not sure why it's getting targeted with a heal. It's right here. After you cleanse somebody successfully, they're healed for 300% spell power. So they're buffing this by 80%. Okay? So instead of it being 300% spell power, it's going to be like 520% spell power, right? It's like a pretty big buff, but I don't know if 520% spell power is really even that good. Maybe it's like a gigantic heal now, and that's kind of a cool thing. That's cool to have. So if you cleanse somebody, you're also healing them. Kind of cool. Light of the Martyr no longer transfers overhealing into a healing absorb. This is huge. This is huge because Light of the Martyr was actively lowering your healing. And it was not really easy to understand that that's what was happening. When I was taking Light of the Martyr and some of my keys, like my healing numbers were just lower, which is really stupid because it creates this healing absorb, and the healing absorb counts as a negative towards your healing. So it's really dumb. But this is huge now. So now you can take Light of the Martyr and it's not going, like the negative side effect of it literally doesn't matter anymore. Now, I'm assuming the Beacon of Light transfer thing is still going to be a problem. I don't know. It looks like they literally just stripped the negative side effect of Light of the Martyr out from the talent. Except maybe the Beacon healing. It might be the only one. Maybe now it's just going to say your Holy Shock does more healing, but you can't benefit from Beacon of Light. I don't know. We're gonna have to see exactly what the tooltip says because they don't clarify it here, but this could be a massive change and could really shake up the talents that you're taking in the middle section of the tree here. If I get access to Light of the Martyr again, oh boy, I'm gonna take it. Okay, Rep Paladin. This is huge, guys. I know I keep saying this, but like a lot of these are really huge changes. It's kind of exciting. Herald of the Sun for Rep Pally. Gleaming Rays now increases the damage of Holy Power spenders by 15%, while Dawnlight is active, was 5. They tripled this. Your Holy Power spenders are 15% stronger now instead of 5. Herald of the Sun, Sun's avatar damage up by 50%. That's the beams that you put through everybody. They're 50% stronger now. The Dawnlight damage up by 40% when you're in Herald of the Sun. Or sorry, that's just Dawnlights all the time, which is like you press you press your big button Wake of Ashes, sorry, and then your next 2 spenders will put Dawn Lights on enemies. Those are now 40% stronger. I don't know if this is going to push Ret Pally towards Herald of the Sun for the first time ever, because they've always just played the other tree. But maybe they'll stop being Hammerdins and they're going to become Heralds of the Light. That would be really cool to see, in my opinion. I actually would kind of love to play Ret Paladin if Herald of the Sun was viable. I don't know why. I just love it so much more. Okay, more massive changes. This is probably the biggest nerfs coming in here. It's going to be to Discipline Priest. Discipline Priests are performing beyond what we would like them to be, so we're reducing the impact of their power. So specifically, they're overperforming in Mythic Plus, right? They're in every single Mythic Plus key. Every single one is a Disc Priest. You got a sprinkling of other healers in here, but the vast majority, 90% of all healers in Mythic Plus right now are Disc Priests. That's just kind of the way it's rolling. So here's the nerfs that are coming. Wheel and Woe now increases the absorb of power word shield by 5% per stack, was 10. This is pretty huge. So right now, everybody's playing Discipline Oracle Priest, right? Oracle Disc Priest, that's what they're doing, because the Voidweaver kind of got nerfed the last couple of patches, and so now Oracle has made its way in. The big thing with Oracle is the power word shield healing is massive, okay? And Twin Sight. Twin Sight is the big thing here, because when you fire off a penance, let's say you fire off a penance and it's got 4 bolts, Twin Sight is going to send 3 additional bolts somewhere else. That's 7 total, right? That's 7 bolts in total. That stacks up your Wheel and Woe to 7 stacks immediately, and then you can press Power Word Shield, and your next Power Word Shield is 70% stronger. So on top of that, I mean, there's other things that are buffing Power Word Shield, but like this is the main thing here. So you'll see Oracle Priest will just go like penance, 1 penance, and then boom, Power Word Shield, and it'll be a massive shield. It'll be like 5, 6, 7 million health on that shield. So what they're doing here is they're cutting that in half. Instead of it being 70%, if you have 7 stacks, it'll now be 35%. If you get all 8 stacks of Wheel and Woe, your next Power Word Shield will be 40% stronger. So it is a huge, they just cut it in half. It's a huge nerf. And I wonder, I was talking to Asterial about this. He thinks that Oracle Priest will be dead now on arrival. I'm not totally convinced yet, but I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. This could be a massive blow to Oracle Priest, and we might see people just go right back to playing Voidweaver. I don't think it's going to make Discipline Priest stop being a healer in Mythic Plus. I just think they'll probably go back to playing Voidweaver. Let's look at the other nerfs. Penance, damage, and healing down by 15%. That's a big one. Allies with Atonement are now healed for 28% of the damage done. Was 32. More nerfs. Atonement now is 125% more effective outside of raid. So this Atonement buff is combating these nerfs right here a little bit, but I think overall you're still going to feel nerfed for sure. And then Voidweaver Void Blast damage is up by 10%. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm convinced that Discipline Priest will simply go back to playing Voidweaver and just feel bad about it, because Voidweaver got nerfed like a couple weeks ago, and now Oracle was out for like 1 week. You were playing Oracle for 1 week, and it's probably completely toast because Wheel and Woe got nerfed, got cut in half, slashed, gutted, disemboweled in half. So we'll have to see what happens there. Holy Priest. On the flip side of things, Holy Priests are happy. Maybe Disc Priests will just start playing Holy Priest. Holy Nova damage up by 30%. Huge. Prayer of Healing up by 15%. Doesn't matter. You're still not going to press it. Prayer of Litany causes Prayer of Healing to heal its primary target for 125% more. Was 75. You're still not going to take it because you're not going to press this button. Prayer of Healing mana cost reduced by 10%. Doesn't matter. You're not going to press that button. This is cool, though. Prismatic Echoes increases the Echo of Light healing by 815, was 510, and Renew healing by 2040, was 1530. So I actually think this has been buffed and nerfed like 3 or 4 times, but whatever. In the bottom of the tree, it's a 2-point node. Your Mastery is going to go up by 10%. Renew goes up by 30%. That's going to change to Mastery 15%, Renew 40%. I still don't know if this talent is actually better than Light in the Darkness. I think Light in the Darkness is still much better. If you're trying to make your way down to Divine Image, I still don't think Prismatic Echoes is good enough, in my opinion, but maybe. We'll have to see. That's a nice little buff there. All healing up by 3%. Very nice. This is the big one for me. Oracle Twin Sight now applies 4 stacks of Prayer of Mending. Was 2. Holy crap. That is so cool. That is so cool. That's this thing here. So for Disc Priest, it fires off extra penance bolts. For Holy Priest, it fires off extra Prayer of Mendings, which can then bounce around. And remember, Prayer of Mending is 40% stronger for Oracle Holy Priest. I think Oracle Holy Priest is going to be crazy. 4 stacks of Prayer of Mending when you fire off a regular one. So you get like 9 stacks on somebody and then 4 over here. Like imagine, I don't know, it's just going to be insane. It's going to be really, really cool. There are some amazing combos that you can do with this. And I truly think that Oracle Holy Priest is on the rise. Okay, Shaman. Elemental Shaman. All of this stuff basically is a single target. Earthshock, Ellie Blast, both up by 8%. Ancestor Lava Burst by 15%. Ancestor Ellie Blast by 15%. Are you still ever going to play Farseer, Ellie Shaman? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Tempest is just too strong. Just way too strong. Enhancement Shaman. Tempest secondary targets take 25% more damage. Tempest primary target takes 30% more damage. Awakening Storms, 30% more damage. Those are the extra little procs that you get, which give you your Tempest. That's up by 30%. Stormcaller now increases your critical strike damage of nature spells by 10%, was 5. Are you ever going to run critical strike chance as an Elemental Shaman? No. So this is kind of a null in, this is sort of a null, like whatever. Yes, you're getting 5% more crit damage for your nature spells. Whoop-de-doo, that's great, but you just don't run crit as an Ellie Shaman, so, and I don't think this is going to incentivize you to run crit, just this one change, but whatever. Resto Shaman, Ancestor Lava Burst damage up by 15%, great. Ancestor Ellie Blast damage, this is not a real thing. Resto Shaman Ancestors do not cast Ellie Blast when they expire. So this is just a typo. They cast Hydro Bubble, which is a bubble that gets put on somebody, an Absorb Shield. So if the Ancestor Absorb Shield goes up by 15%, that's great. But either way, the damage is going to be a little bit better from them as well, which is super cool. Okay. Warlocks. Affliction Warlock. Agony 10%. Soul Rot up by 30%. Vile Taint up by 40%. That's insane. So your AoE damage goes up, your single target damage goes up, and then your damage in general goes up because of Agony. I don't think Affliction Warlocks are doing that badly right now. Certainly in the raid, they are doing great. They're like, we have a couple of Affliction Warlocks in our raid. They're like topping the meters on every other fight, basically. So great that Affliction got some buffs, I guess, but I don't think they really needed it, but that's great. Demonology. This is a sleeper Warlock spec, in my opinion. Somebody from our stream, Blaylock, guy from our stream, he plays Demonology Warlock. Like, that's just what he loves to play, regardless of what's going on in the meta, I think. And he is crushing it right now. He's doing really big numbers right now in my keys. And now he's getting a buff. Demon Bull plus 20%. Wild Imp damage plus 25. Soul Strike plus 35. Pact of the Eridan Doomguard up by 35%. Are you kidding me, bro? I think that Demo Warlock is already really good. And this is going to make it insanely strong. Like, I'm telling you right now, I think that Demonology Warlock sucks right now, you're wrong, and you should go try it. And especially on Tuesday, you should go try it because it's going to be even better. But yeah, anyway, crazy buffs for Demo, in my opinion. Destro, all AoE damage all the time. Cataclysm, Rain of Fire, both up by 35 and 25%. Big buffs right there. So there you go, guys. Some really big nerfs to Sand Lane. I think Vengeance DH is out of the meta. Seriously, I think it's going to fall out of the meta because of this. Or there's going to be some dramatic changes to the build that you're running. You're going to have to bring in more crowd control to help the Vengeance DH, like a Shaman or something, to really assist them with the crowd control. Balance Druid getting buffed. Nobody knows why. Arcane, the Mage hero trees are getting squished together. The hero trees are getting closer. Brewmaster getting massive buffs. Paladin, both Holy and Ret getting massive buffs, in my opinion. I think Ret's going to try Herald of the Sun now. I really do. Discipline Priest getting big nerfs. Holy Priest getting big buffs. Shaman getting some single target stuff. Warlock getting buffed. Not really sure why. They're pretty strong, in my opinion, already, but it's great that they're getting buffed. So that is the patch notes, guys. That's coming on April 15th. That's this coming Tuesday. So there you go. Might be some massive shakeups with the meta, potentially. I think especially on the Vengeance DH front. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much again for watching. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.